Summer 2024. Ben Affleck quietly moved out of the $60 million mansion he shared with Jennifer Lopez. No announcement, no explanation, just gone. And the timing made it even more shocking, because it happened just after Jennifer Lopez proudly celebrated their relationship in the greatest love story never told. And after Ben himself had told the world, "I worked so hard to win her back." After months of emotional public declarations, Ben simply disappeared. But how does a love that's lasted this long fall apart so easily, so suddenly? It all started in 2001, on the chaotic set of Giggly. Ben and Jennifer's chemistry was undeniable. At the time, Jennifer Lopez was married to her second husband, Chris Judd, a dancer she had met while filming a music video. But that marriage ended almost overnight, as J-Lo found herself swept into a thrilling new romance with Ben Affleck. By November 2002, Ben proposed, a 6.1-carat pink diamond that screamed forever. The media crowned them Bennifer. They were everywhere: red carpets, magazine covers, late-night talk shows. Their wedding was set for September 2003, but just days before the ceremony, they postponed it, blaming excessive media attention. But the truth ran deeper than paparazzi flashes. According to sources at the time, it was Ben who started pulling away, feeling suffocated by the constant media circus surrounding their relationship. He reportedly feared that their wedding would become a spectacle, not a sacred moment. And so, it was Ben Affleck who ultimately made the call to postpone and quietly set the beginning of the end in motion. Behind the scenes, Jennifer Lopez was devastated. According to reports, she even considered burning her beloved wedding dress, believing it had cursed their love. Later, Jennifer would confess, "I really felt like I lost the love of my life." By January 2004, it was over. After his breakup with Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck married Jennifer Garner in 2005. From the outside, they seemed like Hollywood's golden couple: 3 kids, a steady home, supportive public images. But behind the scenes, cracks were forming. Over the years, a pattern with Ben became clearer. When something made him uncomfortable, his first instinct was to walk away. But marriage and children weren't so easy to leave behind. Ben later admitted, "Part of why I started drinking was because I felt trapped. I couldn't leave because of my kids, but I wasn't happy." So instead of running, he found another way to escape: through alcohol. It allowed him to be there, but not really be there. Sometimes it's easier to numb the pain than to truly face yourself. For years, they went to couples counseling, trying to hold the marriage together. Then came the rumors: Ben's alleged affair with the family's nanny, Christine Uzunian. But Jennifer Garner herself clarified, "We had been separated for months before I ever heard about the nanny. She had nothing to do with our decision to divorce." Garner once described Ben as the most brilliant, charismatic, generous person. But when his sun isn't shining on you, you feel the cold. He can cast a big shadow. After his divorce from Jennifer Garner was finalized in 2018, Ben Affleck stayed publicly quiet about Jennifer Lopez. But privately, he was holding on. In early 2021, while Jennifer Lopez was filming Shotgun Wedding in the Dominican Republic, Ben reached out. He sent her a series of deeply emotional emails, praising her beauty, reflecting on their past, and quietly suggesting he wanted another chance. This wasn't a sudden impulse. Over the years, Ben had saved their old letters, their early love notes, and eventually compiled them into a personal book he gifted her. These letters and emails became the inspiration for Jennifer's album and documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told. Interestingly, Ben later admitted he was surprised that Jennifer shared these private messages with the world. But in the end, he supported the project. But here's where it gets complicated. Maybe Ben's real struggle isn't just with love. Maybe it's with himself. Maybe sometimes he doesn't even realize he doesn't want what his partner is asking for. Or maybe he knows but doesn't care and just goes along. And over time, that forced kindness turns into quiet resentment. Not open fights, not dramatic blow-ups, but slow, silent withdrawal. Until one day, he just walks away, angry, tired, emotionally shut down. He says yes when his heart says no. We can see this in his GQ interview, when the interviewer confronts him saying, "You say you love her, you say you support her documentary, You even appeared in some of the scenes. But when we look at your face says, oh no. Here we go again. And Ben agrees, justifying it by saying, I decided to support her because I was telling myself, you can't marry the captain of a ship and hate water. But here's something we can't ignore: Ben's pattern of love bombing. We know this from the love letters Jennifer showcased in her documentary. Just like years ago, when Ben proposed with that famous pink diamond, this flood of affection can make you feel like the heavens opened and you found your one true love. It's no wonder Jennifer kept leaving other relationships to return to him. But why does he pull away so suddenly? Psychologists tell us people with narcissistic traits often overwhelm partners with admiration. Then, the moment something goes against their wishes, they flip from worship to rejection. It's the classic fall from the pedestal to the floor. We can't diagnose Ben. Only a professional with interviews and tests could do that. But his behavior sure echoes those patterns. And when he left Lopez, he immediately turned his charm on Garner. In his GQ interview, he said he respected Jennifer Lopez, but poured praise onto Jennifer Garner. I'm so lucky to have her. She's an incredible woman, an amazing partner, and mother. The love bombing had switched targets. Paparazzi caught him clinging tightly to Garner at a paintball event, while reports swirled that Garner and her boyfriend were in therapy because of Ben's overwhelming presence. Rumors even suggested Ben was waiting for their relationship to fail so he could win Garner back. But let's remember, when Ben was married to Garner, he once said, I felt trapped. I started drinking because I was unhappy. So the question is, can Ben stay with anyone? Maybe the truth is, this was never just about Jennifer Lopez or Jennifer Garner or any other woman, because the pattern was always there. Ben Affleck has spoken openly about his battles with depression and addiction. But when you step back and look at the larger picture, there's something deeper at play. A mix of craving love and attention, and then pulling away when it feels too close. A cycle of idealizing his partners, flooding them with affection, and then suddenly withdrawing or escaping the moment reality or conflict sets in. Psychologists call this anxious, avoidant cycling. Sometimes it even carries traits that look a lot like narcissism. Not arrogance, but a deep, shaky identity that swings between I'm special and I'll never be enough. To be clear, Ben has never been diagnosed with any personality disorder. He's only publicly acknowledged his struggles with depression and substance use. But when you see the repeated patterns, the love bombing, the sudden breaks, the tendency to blame outside circumstances, you start to wonder. And here's where the real doubt creeps in. Just how much insight does Ben Affleck truly have into himself? In his interviews, he often sounds genuinely surprised about why the media makes such a big deal out of his life. He says things like, I don't know why people make stories about me. My life has no story. Really, Ben? No story? This is the same man who, after Jennifer Lopez poured all her trust and love back into him, after she put their rekindled romance proudly on display for the world, let that greatest love collapse so suddenly, so publicly, leaving her to face the fallout alone. To dismiss all that as nothing makes you wonder, is this a lack of empathy, a lack of emotional intelligence, or simply a lack of insight? And for those saying Jennifer Lopez is the real problem, or she's the narcissist here, yes, she definitely has her own issues. But this video isn't the time or place to dive into that. What matters is that Ben's pattern of leaving, returning, and emotionally pulling back didn't start with Jennifer. It's something we've seen with every woman he's been with. So maybe J.Lo's personality isn't the main factor here. Because it's not just about protecting Jennifer Lopez. Ben often says things like, I don't want to talk about the details because I don't want people to judge her. But here's the irony. He never seems to consider that people are also watching him, that they might be judging his patterns, his choices, his role in how things keep falling apart. But what he might not fully see is, people aren't just judging Jennifer. They're watching him. They're questioning his patterns, his choices, his role. Maybe the real problem isn't the women. Maybe the problem isn't even the relationships. Maybe the hardest battle Ben has ever faced is the one inside himself. Because you can change partners, you can change houses, you can even change the public story. But if you don't face the patterns inside you, the ones quietly shaping how you love and how you push love away, those patterns will always follow you. Sometimes the hardest relationship you'll ever face is the one you have with yourself.
So, what do you think? Will Ben's next chapter finally break the cycle or repeat it again? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to catch the next orange when it drops.